Hi and welcome to the channel. Today we will unbox, mount, and test this Zeaginal ZC-240 AIO liquid cooler. If you're not familiar with Zeaginal, this is basically the waifu edition from Yeston. The art of the box looks pretty much like an anime. Around the box, there are specs for the fan used and the cooler itself. Opening the box. So upon opening, you'll see a thin foam, a manual. You'll need this. So here's the pump itself and the radiator, and these are the fans. Obviously this is the accessory kit. So by default, the fans are screwed and it is pushing towards the radiator. So this is a mirror kind of thing. I'm not sure if it will display something, we'll know while testing. Then this for the pump header. So this is an ARGB fan, so they have lots of wires, man. I'm not really against RGB, but I'm against wiring RGB. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, set this aside. Let's check the accessory kit. So it's like a SATA powered ARGB controller. So there's some microchip here. 4 screws, AMD brackets. This is the one we need. Thermal paste and a thermal paste spreader. Mounting screws, I assume. Another set of mounting screws. Another thing for mounting. Oh. It has a label. See, it's Intel 2011. This is for AMD, no label. No label as well. Then another set of screws and LGA 17XX. So the labeling is not that good, as you can see that it is already faded. Oh, resealable. This is good. So there's an Intel bracket and an AMD bracket. So we need this. So the way I understand it is that I have to put the brackets first. This one. So these screws are standard. Nice. Okay. So you might hear the aircon because it's very hot now in the Philippines. So usually I don't use aircon while shooting. Now I have to. It looks symmetric, by the way. Then screw. The instructions are not really clear. It says here that you have to remove the side-mounted auxiliary fasteners, but it does not say that you have to remove the backplate. A bit confusing on that part. I'll try to mount this using the existing AMD backplate. So let's see if this is compatible with this guy. It says that you have to screw this in. It is compatible. So we just have to put it like this. So this is only needed for Intel 115X. You should have put a label instead. So confusing. So far this thing also looks optional. So it seems that this is the one that I need. So it will be like this. I'll try their thermal paste. It's good for probably 1 to 2 applications only. Then they have a spreader. So since they have a spreader, oh, bit liquidy. So let's test this thing as well. Anyway, it looks spreaded enough. Will still be compressed by the mounting. Anyway, let's hope so. So remove the plastic peel. Okay. The thermal paste is holding it nicely. Put in the washers. 3 turns at a time. So usually you should put this to the CPU fan. So they have DC chained the fans in the radiator already. Yep. The ARGB is a bit short, by the way. Looks nice, by the way. I wonder if they sell a motherboard that has the same color. So imagine this, you have this pump block and of the same color of your motherboard, the same waifu edition of the Yeston 6700 XT, for example. That will look nice. Anyway, it's time to test this. Okay, as for my comments, let's talk about the aesthetics first. To ensure that the waifu image is displayed properly, make sure that the tubes are exiting on the right. Otherwise, the image shown is upside down. I asked Yeston if it can be flipped, and the reply was that I have to dismantle it. However, I find it hard to dismantle as I have no wiggle room, and so twisting it will not loosen the pump from the CPU. I have dismantled this twice, and both times, the CPU was pulled out from the socket. As a recap on the mounting manual, I find it weird that they mentioned that you must use their backplate, whereas the backplate from the motherboard is compatible compatible with the cooler. The manual also stated the warning as the last item, which makes it more confusing. I suggest to order this manual properly. Usually, other brands have a separate instruction for Intel and AMD as well. Merging it and numbering it as if it was sequential makes it really confusing. Anyway, as for the temps on Cinebench for 30 minutes, it averaged at 86.47 degrees Celsius with a max temp of 88.8 degrees Celsius. This is the best that I got so far in terms of temp performance. As for FF15, it managed to average at 55 degrees Celsius and a max temp of 71 degrees Celsius. While it looks definitely good, I do have to retest all of my coolers for gaming with a better GPU to stress test the CPU even further. This way I can have a proper baseline and comparison as well. Do watch out for that video in the future. As for general risk in AIO, it is usually related to pump failure. One of the common causes of pump failure are bubbles inside the pump and lack of liquid. To mitigate that, you should know where the pump is. In this case, the pump is near the processor, and so it should not be the highest point of the loop to prevent it from wearing faster. You can watch Gamers Nexus video for more info on this, which was also easily summarized by JC2Sense. Another cause of failure is the pump design, which could have gunk buildup inside. MSI, NRMax, and even the Great Arctic had this issue. And sadly, there's no way of knowing until the pump breaks down. The least likely to fail with gunk buildup are those Asetek rebrands, which you might have to research separately. As for its price competitiveness, this is around $110, which is mid-range in AIOs. Definitely cheaper than those NZXT Kraken and Asus Ryujin 240, although they are Asetek rebrands, which makes them less likely to fail as well, and might be worth the risk. As for overall recommendations, even though the temps were okay, but with the risk alone, I should say tread carefully. I will put this in my main build just to test the longevity. But the longevity test takes time. And even so, having one unit to test will also not yield a scientific result. Okay, so that's it for this video. Do let me know in the comments below on what you think. Thanks for watching. Do like or dislike and subscribe for more unboxing and benchmarks. Bye!